Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Mobsters Players Revenge Tools and Tips. And I'm Brutus. Today we're going to provide you a video clip in a series of video clips that are going to function as basically a tutorial on how to play Mobsters Players Revenge. Today we're going to concentrate on the main page, and the subsequent clips we'll be getting into all of the other tabs in the games, including the sub tabs and some other pertinent information that will make it for a better game for you. So why don't we just go ahead and get right into it, because I know you're dying to find out how to play this game, particularly if you're new and you're not getting very much support in the B scene from other people. But hey, welcome to MPR. That's just the way it is. That's just the nature and the culture of the environment, and hey, it is what it is. So let's start over here at the top under this item here, which is cash. All right, you notice that in this particular account, Baby Jane has $862 billion. And where does that come from? Well, it comes from cash flow. Now, Baby Jane has $2.4 billion in cash flow. Well, where does that come from? Well, that comes from the territory you purchase, and we're going to be getting into territory in a subsequent clip. So, go ahead and view the territory clip when you have the time. So, now back over here to cash flow. So, you acquire your cash flow through a purchase in territory, okay, and some rackets, actually most of the rackets, and that cash flow you generate every hour. Okay, now this cash amount here is the cash flow you've been accumulating every hour since the last time you banked your money. But you'll learn more about that later on. Just understand that cash flow comes from the territory that you purchase minus any equipment upkeep that you may be maintaining, which you should have none. Moving along here, we have the health indicator here. It's just like a fighting game. You run out of health. When you run out of health, you can't fight. You're in a hospital or you're dead. So how do you get your health? You get your health through using your skill points, which we'll get into that when we get into the My Mobster tab. You'll learn more about getting skill points and how do you use them to boost up your health. You can also boost up your health by buying certain rackets. Certain missions will give you a certain amount of health. So there's a number of ways of getting health, but health is one of the important aspects of this game. So is cash flow, depending upon what you want to do. Now, right over to the right of cash flow is energy. Okay, energy is also important in this game because you use energy to do your missions. All right, and we will be getting into missions, of course, in subsequent clips, and we'll discuss missions more in detail then. Now, remember, the energy you need, it's for doing missions. How do you get energy? You get energy either by purchasing it with favor points, and there's a place in skill points where you can accumulate energy, but I strongly advise you not to do that. We'll just talk about that more when we get to that particular clip. To the right of energy is stamina. Now, stamina is basically the number of hits you can do. Just like kind of in those fighting games, you have health and you have like a stamina, meaning you have a number of swords, swings you can do, or a number of kicks, or whatever the case may be. Here in Mobster Players Revenge, stamina is used for 1, hitting someone, like attacking them, and 2, for punching. So for every hit you do is stamina, and for every punch you do is a stamina. And depending upon where you're at, your involvement in the game, your stamina can actually deplete pretty quickly. 10 stamina is absolutely worth dip. You can't do nothing really with 10 stamina. But we'll get more into stamina in future videos. Should I say clips, because they're not really videos. Now over here, this is Baby Jane's flasher, which is a pretty cool flasher. She's a meme mama jamma. Okay, pretty cool. Now, over here, we have level 100, okay? Right below the level 100 is the indicator for that level. Right now, Baby Jane is about 35-40% into level 100. When this green indicator gets all the way to the right there, Baby Jane advances to level 101. Okay? Right below the level indicator is the number of mob that Baby Jane has, and she has 1981. And how do you get mobs? You simply go to the BC, which we'll get into that later, and you start adding people to your mob and hoping that they will accept you. 99% of the people will accept you, except for those people that have grudges or are tardos, and they won't accept your account like it's going to hurt your feelings or something. They won't accept your ad. Right below the mobsters, number of mob is the plus 625. Excuse me, that is the number of top mob that Baby Jane has. Top mobs is also a very critical stat in this game here, and you want to have as many top mobs as you can possibly have. And we'll get into how you acquire those in subsequent clips. But I can tell you, you get them through daily bonuses. You get them through purchasing them, things of that nature. You want to beef up your top mob, because number one, they give you more fighting power, and number two, they bring in more cash, and we'll learn more about that later on. Right below that is fighting with, and it shows here that she's fighting with 500. How do they come up with that number? It's very simple. It's the number of your level times 5. What you see here equals 500. However, there's a catch to this. You have to have enough mob in order to be fighting with 500. So in this case here, she has to have at least 500 mob in order to be fighting with 500 mobs. All right? Right below that, of course, you've got your menu. Okay, and these are all separate tabs in the game, but we'll get into each one of those individually in subsequent videos. Right below that, you'll see this section here, the special limited items. These are items that MPR, Mobster Players Revenge, is promoting. You can basically just scroll through these here and see what those items are. Okay, to the right over here, you've got the MPR Gala. Some people say Gala. Some people say blah, 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 blah. The NPR Gala, it's where you pick up some additional equipment. So you basically click the NPR Gala button there, and it'll bring you to this fancy box. And that's literally what it's called, a fancy box. Now, right now, once you get ready to play, you got to use the silver tokens in order to play these. You get those silver tokens through Lotto, and we'll get into Lotto in subsequent clips. Now, when you're ready to spin, you just go ahead and click yes. And what it'll do is it'll scroll, kind of like slot machines. And then in this case, we got this guy here, the Irish bootlegger, which I'll tell you right now, it's like a crappy henchman. But anyway, the point being is this is a spin of luck. I mean, if you want to spin again, you spin again. Okay? And here they gave me this delivery system, which is another blah, 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 blah. Notice something right here. You have used one silver token, and you now have 91 left. That's how many more spins I have left. Okay? Of course, I can acquire more tokens if I play Lotto. We'll get to that later. All right? And down at the bottom, it tells you the name of the equipment you just purchased. We're going to do couple more here. You should see what we get. We still got the crap. I'm going to do one more. And again, this is a thing of chance, but it's also fun. Boom. You've got one of those items here. That's a good item. That's a required item for one of the missions in Vegas. So those are good to have. Okay, where we at? 89. I'll do one more. And the roll we get. That's like a weapon. Anyway, that is the NPR Gala. Right below that is slots. Okay. Now, slots is basically just like slots in the casino. You're going to click the slot buttons there, and it brings you to this particular fancy box. Here's a little tip when you're playing slots. Okay. Play slots with any of the platinum tokens that you may receive either by drops, typically by drops, pimp, normally depending upon, you know, whatever his strategy is as far as awarding or dropping coins, he'll give coins out during different holidays. So I strongly advise, if you play slots, you want to rack up on platinum coins in order to play this game. But in this case here, she has 4 platinum coins, which is basically nothing, and really be a waste of time for you to use them at this particular point, because they're really not going to amount to much unless you get really, really, really lucky with a spin. You want to come in here, you know, it would at least 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 platinum coins if you, or tokens, if you manage to, you know, have enough patience to wait to accumulate them. And you come in and you'll rack up. But there's a way here to get the best investment out of your the best return out of your investment. Now, the way I play this, and it's usually very successful for me, and again, I play this way when I use the tokens. You can use favor points to play, but yeah, your chances and the odds they're not so good. So what I normally do when I play is I bet all lines. Notice it turned to 9, and these are all the possible combinations that can possibly happen that will cause me to win something. So I have just increased my odds to win something by betting all lines. But per line, I would just leave it as it is 1, and the 1 here where it says 1, not the number 1, is going to show you how many coins how many favor points actually you won for that spin. So we've got that all set up, and we go ahead and spin. All right, we won 20 favor points because apparently those up there match up. So we got 20 for one spin, and we use 1 token. We'll do another one here. Actually, we'll use up all 4 because they're basically not much. We got 50 there for that spin. We got 250 there. Not too bad, not too shabby for that spin. And then the last one here, okay, it's showing that we have 1,797. That does not mean that we won that much. That means that whatever favor points we already had, plus what we won, totals to that right there. I have spun a number of times, and I have gotten in a spin 1,500 favor points, 700, 800. It's not a bad gig. You just need to know how to play it. All right. So that's slots. All right. Scrolling down a little bit right here, we'll see these links here. Okay. This is something that if you're playing, you should do every single day, and as you should go ahead and click and collect your energy. All right. Right here, Baby Jane has graciously won 200 energy, and that's the max you're going to get, and there's no less than that you're going to get every day. Okay. Next to that is the daily bonus. Here is another luck of the draw kind of deal. Right. And basically, she got $884,607.98 in cash, which is a big freaking deal. Not a big deal. But one of the key things here, depending upon, you know, what level you're at and where you're at in your game, is these favor points here. You get favor points every day for 5 days if you log in consecutively for 5 days for each day. Okay, I forget what it is for tomorrow. If I log in with this account, I'll get 3 favor points, and then the next day I'll get 5 favor. You know, something like that. I just don't remember exactly what the totals are, but that's all about. Now, the next one is the NPR fan page, which is basically Mobster Players Revenge Facebook page. This is where you can come to look up to see, you know, what's happening, what's new with NPR, and look at read posts from other people, this and that. You can also, if you have questions regarding perhaps favor points, or there's a problem with your account, this and that, you can come here and send them a message, which I'm not going to at this point. Right? Now, we don't need that anymore. The next tab over or button is the NPR train. This is a place that you can go to acquire mobsters. All you got to do is click the add button. Okay? It'll take you to that person's page, that mobster's page, and then it'll tell you that your request successfully sent to Satan's daughter has been sent. Now, Satan's daughter can accept or deny you. Usually, they accept you. Okay. The same thing happens with any of the other ad buttons as well as the ads up here. These are paid ads. These folks pay like whatever it is. See right here the different denominations they can pay for X amount of days, and their ads will show up for those amount of days every day. Okay, I've never used it. I don't know how effective it is. You're certainly welcome to use it if you want to. There's another little feature here that a lot of people don't use, but I do. I go in here and I periodically, I'm getting better at it. I'm actually doing it at least once every week or every 2 weeks. I come in here and I add myself to this little train here. Choo choo, ride a magic train, and on it. Anyway, so what you do here is to add yourself to that choo choo. You click that button here and you come over here and you add your ID. All right, and then just click add. You add your ID, and then you just click add. You just click add. And then your little flasher will pop up here, whatever it may be. Alright? That is the ad train. Now, getting down here to where a lot of the fuss and muss is going on, where a lot of the drama, a lot of the fighting, a lot of the horror stories, a lot of good stories, very little humor, but sometimes. You know, this is the BC, which is the broadcast. We call it the BC, and this is where mobsters interact with each other. All right. I'll tell you right now, if you're very thin-skinned, you gotta be careful in here because it gets brutal. And if you're one of those crybabies, you become a problem for everybody else because you're a crybaby and you can't deal with playing. This is an ultra adult game, so keep that in mind when you go into the BC. Now, over here at the top here is where you would post a message. It's just like in a chat room, basically is what it is. You want to enter a message. You type whatever your message is. Hi. Hi. What's up? I got my caps lock on. Duh. Hi. Excuse me. And if you want, you can add your little emoji here or whatever you call them to your message. In this case here, let's see, we're going to add this one, whatever. Okay, the pirate. And you just click send, and then it tells you your message has been sent. All right. Now you can see here, Baby Jane said hi with a little, oh, God. Now, a couple of things to know about the functionality of the BC here. You scroll down, you can see all the people that are in actually chat right now. A lot of these posts here are from the same people, but the BC and NPR is pretty vibrant. There's usually something going on late at night and stuff. If you're like in the United States, late at night in the East Coast, you know, it starts to lull down around 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. But there's still people in the BC 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning over just having it out, having a good old time or a bad time. Now, let's talk about, since we're here, the add button. This is what you use. If you see it blue, that means that person is not in your mob, and you can click it and request to be part of that person's mob. So a request was sent here to Boys the Hitman. All right. Now, Boys can choose to accept your request or deny it. Usually they do. All right. Now, this reply button here is basically to respond back to somebody. All right. So let's say, for example, I'm not Baby Jane, okay, but Baby Jane sent me a message and I want to reply back to Baby Jane. So I go to Baby Jane's post and I click the reply. All right, and then you notice it says at Baby Jane. This is a message for Baby Jane, and I reply back, hi, back at you, Baby Jane. I had like all thumbs, LOL, and then send it. And I've just now theoretically, I just sent the message back to myself, and people do that by mistake. Hee giggles. All right, now. The top mob button here is if you want to place this particular individual in your top mob because for whatever reason you like the person or you think they have a very, very high bounty is going to help you, you know, with your collecting. All right. And you can certainly delete an individual, and you can also block them here, meaning you will not see their post. That's basically what it means. Everybody else can see it, but you won't be seeing their post. Okay, I'm sipping some coffee while I'm doing this because I'm a real person. A Brutus. Now, right next to the broadcast tab is the energy tab. This is where you'll see people have sent you energy, and you'll learn more about that when we get into the My Mob tab. And these are all folks that have sent you 10 points of energy every during that session. Notice it's energy. This is one way you get energy, by people sending you energy. And how do people send you energy? Is you develop a real huge top mob base. I'm not going to tell you how big mine is, but I get some energy from some decent energy from people sending me energy. Now, it's you don't have to do it, but it's good mobster ethics, okay? That when somebody sends you energy, you do the right mobster thing, because you are a TDM, and you're going to hear more about that once if you get into my guide and start reading it. A TDM is a top dog mobster. A top dog mobster is not a cream puff or anything that he'll whoop your ass. However, this individual has couth, he has etiquette, he has good mobster etiquette, okay? And good mobster etiquette is to return energy when somebody sends it to you. So you come here to the energy tab and click return. Notice here all of the energy that was sent to Baby Jane. Maybe because she's so hot, she's getting all these people sending her. But the truth of the matter is, if you go up here to the top real quick, look how many top mobs she has. 625. So out of 625, at least at this point, all these people have sent her 10 points of energy. Now, I'm not going to go through here and count them, but if you count them, you'll see that there's a couple of hundred, at least just at this time. They give you receiving energy all day long. Anyway, point here is you go ahead and return the energy. Now, what the system does, it automatically sends 10 points back to them, which is pretty neat. Okay, you can get into a volleyball thing here. If you can send energy to them, they send it back. They send it to you, you send it back. So in that little transaction, you just made 20 favorite points for that particular mobster. Figure that one out yourself. But anyway, okay, what else here? Over here, it's one place. Well, before I go there, if you have sent energy out and they return it to you, you will see it here in green. Such and such, return back energy. Blah, 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 return back energy. Bonehead, return back energy. You'll see it in green. That's the folks sending back energy to you that you sent to them. Now, moving along to fight log, this is where you see who has attacked you. Okay? Now, the lotto ones you don't even need to concern yourself with, because these are the attacks that are happening by virtue of playing lotto. Okay? We'll get into lotto, particularly about lotto when we get in there. But if you go into your fight log and you see hits by people through lotto, don't even worry about them. Just leave them alone. Okay? Give you an example of what's happening here. This particular individual here, well, actually it looked like they killed, trying to find a good example here. Or these are old, they're 3 days old, so they don't show all the details about the hits on you. Like this particular individual, executed a hit on you, placed by Lotto Man, which is actually, the name for the gangster. And Lotto, it's just like a mascot name or something like that. Anyway, this is self-explanatory up here. These little emojis or whatever the hell you call them. You want to use one, and you select it, and it shows up here. Alrighty, moving along here. I got other clips to work on. Now, that pretty much wraps it up for the main page. Okay, there's one little thing here down at the bottom that you may want to take note of. It's not showing up here. It made a fool of me. You know what? Because I'm in the wrong tab. That's why. Let's go to the broadcast, and you go down to the very bottom. Okay. Well, it's made a fool out of me here too. Typically, there's a link down there that you can click and you can contact customer support. All right. So that's just the spiel. Okay. Go ahead and check out the other clips if you're interested in learning about the other tabs. I'm glad you spent some time with me. MLAR, which is MLAR, which stands for, and you'll see me saying this a lot, which means Mobster, Love, and Respect. MLAR. It's an OG thing. It's an old school thing. I'm an old school mobster. I played in my space when it was around for a number of years. So, MLAR, that's a salute to you. It's a a greeting, so to speak. Talk to you later, cupcake.